Listening to the Mission Sicily podcast. Hey guys, it's Brian and welcoming you back around again, probably for the last time in 2025 as we begin unpacking what happened over the last year. 12 months of God doing great things here in Belpasso, in Sicily, and because of you, because of your prayers, your encouragement, support. Numerous lives have been changed, hearts transformed, new families added to the household of faith, and even more baptisms. That's right, we've had a slew of baptisms already this year, and even more have been scheduled for next month. Excited about sharing those pictures and thoughts and ideas with you as they come through the next few months. Exciting things on the horizon. Just to bring you up to speed on where we are and what we've done, we've given some updates already in the Kingdom Mission of God episodes. So we did a series of 3 consecutive episodes. There was a tiny gap in between episode 1 and 2, but coming back, we got the last 2 in. They do that in movies sometimes. That's my excuse. They have this gap, and then they come back and make it a trilogy. That's exactly what we did, but not probably for the same reasons big executives in Hollywood studios do that. We got immersed in a seminary program, and it was heavy. It was heavy and amazing, but we're trying to learn how to balance, learn how to manage the new requirements and how much study goes into a master's level seminary degree. Wow. My compliments to all of you who have finished a master's course or have your doctorates. It's heavy, and we appreciate the study and the time and effort that you've done to achieve that goal. That reward is in itself the knowledge and being able to apply that. And we're so thrilled to be now into our second theme. There's a new subject that we're studying. We finished 5 modules already of the first. We're into our first module of the second title, the second theme. So where we studied biblical theology in the first subject that we did. We're now into a second subject on the Trinity and God's love, and it's super helpful and super practical. I can tell you I have been challenged in amazing ways, painfully challenged, and it's really producing great results in our hearts. That's me and Gino. So if you're looking at the newsletter, because you received the newsletter, maybe you hit click and you hit the podcast episode, then you are seeing a little bit different format than what I'm going through. What I've just described to you is actually at the end in the pictures in the newsletter. You can see Dwayne, his wife Kimberly, both doctors, and they are missionaries serving in Serbia. And they've been creating this satellite program of a seminary called Academia. It is a satellite program of Grace College and Seminary in Indiana. And so that's where that's coming out of. You see me and Gino in the picture, and lots of study. And again, it's been delightful, amazing, transforming our hearts and our thoughts. And I can't say enough good things about it. But let's start back at the top of that newsletter that you may be looking at. You see a picture, really recent, actually just a few weeks ago, of our study groups that we have, disciple-making groups that we have. This is a small group that meets every Thursday evening. and we go for about an hour, hour and a half, and we talk about Scripture and we unpack. We're doing biblical theology. We're unpacking the Gospels, looking backwards into where these ideas were coming from scripturally, how they're harnessed, how they're structured, where they're sitting in their context, and then looking forward to the fulfillment of some of those things and what we're yet to see consummated. And so it's been brilliant. It's been amazing. We've talked about that a lot already. I'll get into a couple of the other sections that you may see in the newsletter now. We have baptisms. That was largely done in January of 2025, so almost 11 months ago now. And then we had another couple, one or two people that were baptized later, but we try to do it in bigger groups in the dead of winter. We do baptisms into new life because it's fun. And that's been our modus operandi for the last couple of years. See a couple of pictures of groups sitting around talking and discussing, and these are language groups that have been developed over the last year by an affiliate missionary that's here in our local area, and she's been doing great, having great success in the community itself on the level of just the public sphere. That's another one of our heartbeats, and the DNA, so to speak, of Mission Sicily is bridging the gaps between the evangelical church and the community around us. That's another reason that we purchased and have been building and developing the land that we'll talk about in a second, here at the very entrance of our city. And so everybody and their mother has to pass right by this land and area, the facility that we have with the new buildings popping up. And so this was where we started hosting some of these language groups that had been formerly hosted in the community center, or we would say the how do you call that? The villa, the comune, where the mayor is and all of the public offices are. And we were now hosting. We did a series of 3 over the summer. As you can see, we're in t-shirts and everything. So it was still warm out there into September, and I think early October was the last one. But we've had some great success with that, inviting people into the church sphere that ordinarily they would never come to or be a part of, be associated with. It's just anathema in their thinking to go to the evangelical church, and they see, oh, these are real people, and they love God, and they get into the Bible and all of that. And we do English. It's not a bait and switch. We're there to learn English. We sit in groups appropriate to levels. We have different discussions. God may and usually does come up, but we're not forcing it down anyone's throats. We're making an open door is what we're doing, and allowing people to just kind of wander in and out as they like, to get a comfort level. And this is what we have found that is really so difficult about doing this bridge building that we've talked about so many times before, part of our DNA. And as we're reaching out to the community and giving them the opportunity to warm up, and there's been so much bad blood, there's been persecution towards the evangelicals, keeping them isolated, ostracized at arm's length, and all of that. And so we've made inroads, and we're so happy that we've been able to do this kind of an event, a series of events that, again, allows people to warm up and just become open to the idea that, hey, these are real people. They love God, they love Scripture, and they love me. And that's been beautiful. As we move through some of the photos, you see people dressed up. We've done dramas that aren't just for the kids. We've done dramas that are open to the public, as you see. You can see a sweet couple there. Salvo and his wife Monica are dressed up as biblical characters. Again, not just for the kids, but we had a great time inviting adults and people outside of the church. Some more groups going on, disciple-making groups, study groups, language groups. That was a huge focus for us over the last year. But as we're using up our space, we're coming to the end of what we can do just in terms of capacity. And so I included a few pictures there of the construction that's been going on. And we're expanding the area that we've been using for these groups. And so now, because we're moving into December, January, February, we won't be using this particular space so much, but I'll send you pictures for you to see how this new area is being utilized as we move into the spring, because that has been our goal. We still got a lot to do, but it's underway, and I'm excited to be able to show you all of that. You guys know that we've been moving to the end of phase 1, getting into phase 2 of the construction, which will be a new building. We paused that due to funds, and again, this is why we do what we do. We pay what we can as we go. This is why your gift makes Mission Sicily possible, because we wait until we have what we need in order to move forward. As we've talked about before, your partnership, your love, your prayers, your encouragement, your support affect not only me, they affect Gino, our partner ministry here in Sicily. They affect Stefano and his wife and family in the north of Italy. They affect our emerging network that we're growing into together. It affects also the church in Estonia, where I had the pleasure and honor of pastoring for over a year and stayed connected to, and then even reconnected with the new pastor recently, as we've talked about on another of those recent Kingdom Mission episodes. So, if you haven't listened to those episodes and gotten all of the updates that we already made, then please go back and start there. It's a great place to start to bring you up to speed with some of the theological impact that has been happening in our hearts, and obviously that overflows into the groups that we have around us. You'll get a little bit more insight into some of the structure of our partnerships and the impact of your prayers, your encouragement, your love, your support, your financial gifts, whether monthly or special. They are helping to make mission possible. Your giving makes the going. And so we're grateful for you. We're grateful for how God has used you over this last year to do the things that we talked about here on this episode today in the newsletter, and the exciting things that are coming up next month in January. As we close out, a short episode today, but I want to invite you to pray. Would you pray for Mission Sicily? We've been pondering and praying and meditating on the opportunity for a while to relocate towards the north and expand from Mission Sicily to Mission Italy. That's not a new concept. If you've been around for a while, you know we've talked about that. Our hearts are growing. Gino's in a good place. Our leadership structure here is in a good place. And we feel like this may be the season, 2026, that God would call us to the north to begin again what we did down here with Gino 12, 13 years ago. Find another young pastor, younger than myself, so not in his 50s, would be great, that we can come alongside and partner with to see the same kind of transformation that we've seen here in the deep, deep South. Of course, our partnerships will remain intact with Gino in the South, Stefano in the North, our friends in Estonia, our friends in Albania, this seminary that we're working through in Serbia, which is a 2.5-year program. All of these partnerships remain intact, but we're asking God for new ground to plow, new hearts to sow into, new partnerships, and that God would expand this growing network, not just through us or because of us, but for Italians and Mission Sicily. So that's been a heart's desire. We've taken a few trips up to the north to look at possible locations. We haven't found the right one yet, but we are interested in the heartland, something north of Lazio and Umbria, maybe even farther north than Tuscany, or at least farther east, somewhere towards Bologna, up to Verona, over to Mantova, Brescia, Bergamo. In these towns, this is where we've been concentrating our efforts. And again, we're not in any kind of hurry. We're not trying to push or force something that doesn't want to go, or that God's grace isn't in, that He's not leading us to. It's just been a desire. And so we've been investigating and asking God, is now the right time? Is this when you would send us? And we're fine with Him saying no. If it's hunkered down, you're going to be another year or two in Sicily, great, fantastic. There's no problem there. At the same time, we feel God doing something new on the horizon, and we're asking you to help us pray into that, understand His will, so that we can be fully obedient to what He's called us to. So that's our update, end of the year wrap up, or unwrapping what God did in 2025, and inviting you into prayer with us, for this mission, for the future. If you haven't already made a special gift at the end of the year, this is the last chance. This is your opportunity to make an impact. Help us finish some of the projects that we've got underway. Help support these missionaries that I've mentioned, and the churches, the ministries that I've mentioned on this episode. This is where your impact goes. And so I invite you to click the link in the newsletter, or you can just go to missionsicily.com. There's a donate button there as well. Thank you for all that you've done, all that you're doing, and may God's grace be multiplied back to you in terms of peace in this season, joy, and also clarity for 2026 and what God may be calling you to do. We're partners together in the ministry, and we're so glad to have you. Can't wait to walk into 2026 together, arm in arm, hand in hand with you, knowing that God's will is being accomplished through our work together. God bless you, and we will see you very, very soon.